All right, I will call the meeting to order. It is by my phone 1:09 p.m. We do not have any public attendees, so we will start with the official roll call, please, with Commissioner Julie Smith.
Commissioner Julie Smith, present. Commissioner Ellen Alexander, present.
Captain Ludlow, present.
Commissioner W. William Smith, present.
Tina Stanford, Chairwoman, present.
Commissioner Christina Hernandez, present.
Commissioner Gail Halligan, present.
Commissioner Sally Thompson, present.
Commissioner Ellis, present.
Is there any assistance from board or official present?
Secretary to Secretary Robbins.
And our videographer, Mr. Wyant, is with us today as well, and we thank him for that service. All right, we have two sets of minutes, beginning with the June 15, 2015 minutes. Does anyone have any suggestions for amendments or additions? And if not, I'd be happy to entertain a motion with respect to the June 15, 2015 minutes.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Hernandez, second by Commissioner Alexander to accept the minutes. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Abstain because that's
Okay. Commissioner Elovich abstains, and Commissioner Julie Smith abstains, and Commissioner Thompson abstains. Okay. The minutes are passed. Thank you so much. I didn't say it. Are there any nays? And then moving forward to July 20th of 2015, last month's minutes. Is there any suggestion for change to those minutes? And if not, is there a motion with respect to those minutes?
I motion to accept the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Halligan, second by Commissioner Julie Smith. Any further questions or discussion? Any abstentions?
Abstain.
I abstain.
Okay. Commissioner William Smith, Commissioner Ludlow, Commissioner Hernandez, Commissioner Thompson abstained.
And Commissioner.
Was there another?
Commissioner Eldridge.
You weren't abstaining from that, or were you? Yeah, you're abstaining as well, Lisa?
Yes.
Okay. So, who, please raise your hand if you're in favor of accepting these minutes. I think, I don't know, we've got three. Why don't we table these for the time being?
Well, possible point of order. You didn't have a quorum, correct? So you'll never have a
You'll
quorum.
never have a quorum.
So, what will we need to do with these minutes in terms of a point of order?
You would file the minutes without approval, noting lack of quorum.
Okay. And that is what we will do. We don't need any motion for that, do we? Okay. So we will consider these minutes duly filed without approval. And again, if anyone has any changes or anything else to recommend, please say so. This was a very brief business meeting. I don't see anything in here that would need any further attention as far as new business going forward. Okay. Old business. We do have a board training set up. I want to say, I know it's in September. Lori, do you remember the exact date? Let me see if I can find it.
I believe it's the 17th.
That sounds right. I know it's the week of...
Talissa, do you remember?
It is the 17th,
Yeah.
10 to
Okay.
1.
10 to 1? Thank you.
And that is a Thursday, correct?
It is.
Okay. Thursday, September 17th, 10 to 1. This is part 2 of board actions. I really think it's important that all of us attend one of these sessions. I know many of us attended when we did it in December. It was very informative. It's important that we all know what to look out for in these actions to make sure that the proper request is being made of us, and to make sure that when we're signing and making a decision on these board actions, that it's the appropriate decision to be made based on an accurate request. So if you weren't able to attend in December, I highly recommend that you attend this session. I'm not sure if we'll have a chance to record it, but if not, then we'll probably do a part 3 so that we can get everybody to have this training. Additionally, PREA training has been developed that is mandatory, and the Training Academy is prepared to present this training to us. We haven't selected a date yet, but we will do so. And this, I'm hoping, will be one that we can do by video conference. It's an excellent Visio presentation to go along with the training that I previewed some time ago. I think they may have made some enhancements since I previewed it many months ago. But that is a mandatory training. Okay, thank you. And this is the board action training.
Yes, and that's how many have signed up so far.
Okay. Thank you all who have responded so far about the board action training. You can still respond, and we'll make sure that you're connected. That training as well is going to be done and available to us by video conference, and you can go to your home office or to your closest office that has video capacity, and we can connect you from there. So it's not too late to sign up for that training, and Talissa will send out something else about a training with respect to PREA. We're really trying to catch up on all of our mandatory training as state employees, as well as non-mandatory training opportunities that are available to us that will hopefully get us to our 40 hours apiece. For those of us who are lawyers, you may be interested in CLE, and there's plenty of information available on that. Talissa brought a handout from the Attorney General's office. Of course, there's a fee for that that DOCS and the Board of Parole doesn't cover. But through PEF, there is also free CLE available online, and you can do that at your leisure. In fact, I got all of my biennial credits within a short time frame just going through and using that training. So there's lots of ways we can get our training. Anytime you go anywhere, if there's a training component, if you bring back the information, I can even sign as the instructor, and we send it to the academy, and they give you credit for it. So we just need to know, a flyer would be nice, or a brochure, or an agenda if you have it. Anything that's considered a training opportunity, you could get credit for, that would get each of us up to our 40 hours. So Talissa has access now to get a sort of an updated count on where we all are for 2015, and you can get that information from her and then move forward so that we make sure we all have our hours in before the end of the calendar year. And then we still have lots of other ideas for training that have been mentioned, and other resources that we can bring in to help us to do the training. So just keep, watch your calendars. And I would ask this too, is anyone opposed to using your Outlook calendar? Because I find it's helpful to me, because then it'll pop right up on my calendar when I turn on my computer. What I like to do is send invitations to meetings and invitations to training to everybody through Outlook. And that way, when you accept it, it pre-populates your calendar, your online calendar. Is there anyone that's opposed to doing that? Because otherwise, I think I'd like us to start to use it. That way, you know, if you're off that day, it would show the scheduler that you're unavailable, those kinds of things. Anybody have a problem with that? If I sent the invitations to the meetings, to the trainings and things like that through your
So
Outlook?
is there anything we need to do? Because no, right? It just pops up.
All you have to do is accept it when you get it.
And Talissa, you've used that already, haven't you?
I've used that since I arrived.
Okay, so then-
Respond for it. Nobody
We all do that, yeah.
All
It's
right.
great.
Okay, yeah, so if we've been doing it anyway,
Well, see, what happens is we send the invitation,
Right.
but nobody responds. So what happens is it's blocked as tentative as opposed to accepted. So when you get the invitation, you really have to open it up and just accept.
So whenever we hit accept, it goes right to it, right?
It'll send it to me.
Okay.
Now, because what I've been doing is sending another email, not through Outlook, but now I'm forced to send emails because none of you respond to Outlook. So it's almost like a reminder I have to ask you twice.
But when it shows up on the BlackBerry, because that's normally when I hit accept,
Yes.
do you get those acceptings when I hit accept?
BlackBerry. If you hit accept, I'll see.
Okay, and so then you'll see it. So what do we need to do on the computer back at our office?
Once you accept it, if you accept it through BlackBerry or through your computer, it will come back to me. And I'll be able to notify the chairwoman of attendance.
But then does it remind us? Because I
What happens then, what happens is it will be on your computer. So when you open up your Outlook screen, your email, you have some options. You can look at the mail or you can look at your calendar. If you click on your calendar, it'll open up your calendar. You can look ahead, you can look behind. But in terms of a reminder, you have to tell the computer how you want to be reminded. Do you want to be reminded days in advance, 24 hours in advance, 15 minutes in advance, half hour in advance? So you set your own settings. And if you have any questions about how to do that, perhaps Talissa can walk you through that. As it is, I think I have mine set. When I'm traveling, for example, I get a notice 24 hours in advance when I'm going to be away. And I think that's only because I have the whole day blocked out. If it's a time thing, if it's a 1 hour meeting or something like that, I have mine set, I think, to remind me at a half hour, maybe an hour out, to give myself drive time just in case I have forgotten about a meeting. So there are lots of different ways you can set it to remind you, but it will appear on your calendar if you open up that tab on your computer. So you can see where you're scheduled to be for the whole month. I'll put my boards on it, I put all my meetings on it, I put my days out of the office on it, and that way I could literally print out my own calendar months in advance. Taylor? Please.
One thing that's really helpful with that, and if you are going to do that, make sure that you, as a receiver of the information, is always putting on your calendar whether you're in the office or not. Because when the person that goes to schedule the meeting, they could see what you're doing and know ahead of time, okay, I'm not going to try that thing because X are already at the office. So that's kind of where the onus is on the person a little
Yes.
bit more, is to be better. And we try to do it a lot in our office because that's how everyone knows who's out and who's in. But even if it's something personal, like you're just going to be out for a couple hours, it's nice to put it in so they know.
And it really is statewide, and I'll say this on that point because that's an excellent point. So say, for example, I'm on boards. You have an option, and Talissa puts in the place that I'm at, and it's for 24 hours. It's for the full day. I will say out of office. The busy is an option as well. If it's a personal appointment, vacation, whatever, or a doctor's appointment, you want to put your own personal doctor's appointment, there's another option. You can hit private. So it would never print on a generic calendar, someone else's calendar, where you're at or what the appointment is if you mark private. The only thing is, to Taylor's point, is the person trying to schedule the meeting will know at a glance you're just not available because it'll show booked. So if we were trying to invite someone from Docs to a meeting, it would show booked. You don't know where they are or what they're doing, but you know either they're out of the office or they're busy during that time. So it's a nice feature. It really is to help keep us organized and to help Talissa and Lori to schedule our meetings and our trainings and to kind of keep up with all of us in terms of knowing who's available and who's not.
Sorry, it's really cool. If you want to accept the invitation, you can click on it. Anyone can see who's going to be at that meeting if they're at
Mm-hmm.
So that's also a good reminder.
You look at the schedule, and it will show all the invitees.
I'll play with it.
So it's, it's, if you look at it as a fun new gadget, then, it's not as bad as it might sound in the telling. Okay. Policy, procedure, and directive discussion. We've got an outstanding directive out there. It's in the hands of our ALJs for any comments that they may wish to make.
I got that last week. You reminded me.
So we should be hearing back from them in time enough to report back to you at our next month's meeting. I don't think there's anything else. Well, we could discuss the fact that, just briefly, a memo was released this month alerting all the facility staff that beginning in September, we're going to be adding certain documents to the files. And we might be able to discuss that in some more detail during executive session. All right, is there any items of new business that aren't of a confidential nature that anyone wishes to discuss? Correspondence, announcements, and invitations. I just want to briefly say at this point we're delighted to have Commissioner Thompson back with us. We welcome back her sincerely, and we'll have more discussion as the day goes on. We welcomed back Commissioner Hallerden a meeting or two ago, and so we're very blessed to be back up to 14 in full force again, and also very happy that Commissioner Elovich is feeling better and getting back up to speed as well. So, without anything further, during the public portion of the meeting, I would be happy to entertain a motion to go into executive session, and at the end of that, adjourn the business meeting.
I move that we go into executive session.
Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Any abstentions? Thank you. We're in executive session. Thank you.